The View today, it was funny because Whoopi was saying, "Yes, I'm here on a Friday, you guys." Because Joy was not feeling well.
Oh yeah, she normally not.
So she normally there not on a Friday, but they just talked briefly about the White House is taking a stance on the supporting the LGBTQ community. They're seeing the back and forth with the whole transgender thing, and one of the things the ladies brought at the table, and Anna just really kind of like fed up with it because the hatred or the dislike with the drag queen issue is not harming children, and why that's such a big threat to people.
As long as they're not sexualizing,
exactly. Where
when
Sarah,
they start sexualizing, that's when I have a problem.
Well, let me finish my comment. Sarah was saying, with because that's what she said. Sarah was saying that her only concern is that everybody should have as a parent, you're in control of what your children read and don't read, where they go to and don't go to. She said, I'm not going to take my kids to a drag queen thing, but she said there are concerns. They're having drag queens come to the libraries and read to the kids.
What's wrong with that? So
she's saying, I personally wouldn't let my kid go there, and because a lot of the comments that they make is explicit language and stuff.
Well, then I don't like
That's
that.
why she's saying that. And I get it, because she's right. A lot of them do talk a little vulgar and nasty, or they may be kind of lascivious on how they dress. You may not want your kid in that environment because of that. Not so much because they're drag queen.
But that's not even a drag queen. That's anybody, because they've had celebrities go and they've been provocative.
And that's how parents should be. I don't care if you Denzel. You're using too much profanity.
Right. Well, he wouldn't.
You ain't reading my kids a book.
Right.
But that's one of the fears too. But they said the percentage of transgenders is so low, 1%. That they making a big stink about it in the laws and
they have to
making people afraid.
They have to, because they have to find something to zero in on to take everybody's mind away from Trump.
Okay. Well,
so the transgender is what they zeroing in on.
So let's see what the White House press secretary talks.
So here's what we have to tell you. This year, the LGBTQ community has been targeted like never, ever before. Yesterday, the White House announced initiatives to back the community. Let's show you a clip.
This is a president that has been a strong ally, a vice president that has been a strong ally, a second gentleman, a first lady that has been a strong ally of the community. Let's not forget what we're seeing across the country from state houses. More than 600 pieces of legislation, anti-LGBTQ plus legislation. A few hundred of those are against transgender youth. And so we have not seen that type of anti-sentiment against this community in decades. And so we believe that not only does this community need to be celebrated and continue to be celebrated, as he's done many times before in this past 2 years, but we also need to make sure that we let the community know that the president has their back, and we're going to continue to fight for them.
Okay, so
this summer.
Okay, so
yeah, that basically, you're going to always have different viewpoints when it comes to laws being put in place for LGBTQ. Like, they can marry now, and now that they've crossed that bridge, a lot of states are allowing marriage. But understand, when you don't want to celebrate somebody, the opposite end of that is you're being ugly now, pointing at them, because you don't have to celebrate a lifestyle if that's your faith. To not celebrate a lifestyle of some of the activities in the LGBTQ. We're not here condoning anything. We're just letting you guys know what people are doing and their hatred against things that they feel like, oh, laws shouldn't be covering them or protecting them. And Biden just wants to set the record. We got your back. And yes, some people may have an issue against celebrating you. He's the president. People probably feel he needs to say that so they'll know. Plus, he wants votes. Think about it. That's the election coming up. But you're going to always have different views on this whole thing. And a lot of people on The View was saying that they're using this, like you're saying, as to get people's mind, to put fear into people, and other things to get people's minds off of even what's all going on in our politics with Trump and everybody else. So that was basically what they talked about. But I do understand what Sarah's saying. She said, and Whoopi made it clear, why not let parents make the decision on anything their kids, what they read, what schools they go to, and not try to put a law in place that tells the parent what to do or not to do with their children. You choose. If you're a parent and you don't want your child, and they were talking about books as well. If you're a parent and you don't want your kids reading the books that they're banning or whatever, she said that's unfair for us parents who do want our child to read that book. And Sonny did say banning a book may even make it worse, because I'm curious as to what's that book about.
Well, if it's an older kid.
So they just talked in general about the laws and stuff that's in place for protecting your children mainly as well, because that was the transgender youth issue that they're having.
All right, to me it's a fine line, because I feel like the White House is always big on coming forward with LGBTQ things. Remember, we talked about that before. I want to see what Biden is doing about all the campaign promises that he said and about all the stuff that he's supposed to do, even for the African American. It was the only reason why he's president is because African Americans voted for him and women voted for him. Yeah. So the two groups that voted for you, what have you done? That's all we care about. And all this other stuff about LGBTQ, I get what you're saying. That's fine and that's dead.
And as a politician.
But what else?
And it was funny because later on, Common was on, because he's talking about that show he's on, Silo, which is a good show I'm hearing. It's about the future, and they're in a silo like a bubble or something, and they are told they can't go out because the air is really bad.
What did he say?
But they were asking him about the whole politicians thing, as far as he takes a good stand on a lot of things in the community. That's his music does and all of that. But he did say a comment that we all laughed. How politicians make promises, they lie.
Right, that's all we want to know.
Can a politician just be truthful?
That's all we want to know.
Really forthcoming on what they're going to do and try to do and not do.
Okay,
but that's what he was saying.
Yeah. So to me, it's the transgender thing, the LGBTQ and all of that.
That's a politician's speech.
And also too, I expect them to be upset, because if somebody's attacking you as a group, you're going to go out and you're going to say something about it or march.
There's civil rights.
But I don't have a passion to take up for the LGBTQ community. So that's a thing. And I know people be like, oh, I can't believe you said that, Kim. I don't. I'm sorry. It's too many things going on with women and black people and all this. Your group, you in there, but you ain't at the top of my list. I'm sorry. But especially when you talk about allowing children to have reconstructive surgery. Yeah. I don't agree with that. Underage. I don't agree with that. You're not going to get me to agree with it. I don't care how many laws you don't like about it.
But you know what? Sarah did bring up a good point. She said the people that are fighting for the policies to be changed, she said, think about the medical. It's not, she read actual statistics. It's not all about the surgeries.
Okay, then
these kids they're also getting mental. They're having people talk to them, so that money is going towards that too.
I'm fine with that.
A lot of times you want to sit down with the kid and say, "What's going on?"
But
are you sure? So that money, she was saying how they were scaring people, thinking it was all surgery.
Okay, but
surgeries. That's not what it is.
Don't group everything into one thing. And then I keep saying this. Why do you have to have a surgery? Having breasts does not make you a woman.
But that's what she was saying. She said a lot of the bill being passed is for the kids to have psychiatric talking.
Right.
Social workers sitting down.
But why can't they
talk on their mental level, and even get them to understand you don't need to cut your body up.
Why can't more LGBTQ people who have not had the surgery speak out?
I know.
And say, you know what? I'm good. I'm living my life. I'm having a wonderful T.S. Madison.
What's her name? Cox. Laverne Cox.
Why can't you say I still have a penis, but I live my life as a woman?
Surgery.
Why can't they speak out more?
I don't know, Kim.
It's all the ones that keep talking about having reconstruction surgery, cutting this off, and you saw what happened to Miss Jackie O.
Yeah.
To DC Young Fly's
cosmetic surgery took her life.
The same thing I say about beauty.
Yeah.
Why can't us big nose people, because I have a big nose, start getting out there loving our noses?
Well, it all started with Michael Jackson, with the big nose Michael
you.
Jackson and the pointed nose Michael Jackson.
Why can't women with natural breasts start saying, hey, you know what? Love your body. Love your body.
I know.
Make it more common so that women don't feel like, well, you know what? I want to look better. I got to go into the night. Start putting these cosmetic people out of practice. Mm-hmm. The only time you go get cosmetic surgery is when you have to. You're in an accident or something. Half your face is off. Yeah. Then you got to go get your face reconstructed. Exactly. That's what they should be used for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but until we start getting where we start loving ourselves and those people that at the top start loving themselves and showing that you can love yourself, your cellulite and all that other stuff, people will stop going and getting all of this stuff.
I know.
So that's what I have an issue with the LGBTQ community. Right. I'm sorry. Y'all pushed way too much about reconstructive surgery. Especially having a breast and a penis. Yeah. Y'all into this whole non-binary thing. A penis don't make you a man.
Yeah.
According to y'all.
That's true.
Breasts don't make you a woman. So why you gotta have it so much?
But that's why Sarah brought that up. She said nobody talks about money going also towards that part of it, not so much surgeries, because a lot of these younger kids, they're not having surgeries, but they do need people to sit down and counsel them and talk to them and kind of get a really deep understanding of why they feel that way. And they may feel that way one day, and then when they get 21, I changed my mind.
And you having surgery to have a fake penis. Why don't you just go to the store and buy one? Honestly.
Well,
it's not real.
Well,
it's fake.
But yeah, I think we both hit the nail on the head.
Your vagina is not real.
When we said more people like Laverne Cox who are out there, who are known, who are famous, who are okay.
T.S. Madison to me is more about it. I see T.S. Madison as a woman more than I see T.S. Madison as a man. And T.S. Madison still has all the body part, the penis and everything.
The male parts.
I don't even see
because
he lives his life as a woman.
What's this, Caitlyn?
Or you could say she. Caitlyn? No, Caitlyn had the surgery.
Caitlyn had the surgery?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know Caitlyn had the surgery.
That's what I'm saying.
So Caitlyn wouldn't be a good spokesperson.
No, not for reconstruction
now,
surgery.
Caitlyn, it's funny how Caitlyn is a good spokesperson when it talks about them sports. And isn't that something?
Yes. And I believe that she doesn't like reconstructive surgery for underage.
Okay.
Which is what most normal under people 18. Think like that.
Okay.
Why would you have a child? Why would you have somebody under 18 cut off their penis?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Because they feel they're in the wrong body.
And what are you in a hurry for that you can't wait till you become an adult?
I don't know. That's why they have counseling. That's part of the bill as well when he signs that over. It's not to have the surgeries per se, but it's all to have
But what's put in that bill?
Mental illness.
But it's put in that bill. Yeah. Then you got to take that out.
Well, unless they change it where it's not underage. They want to because that one lady that's on the floor, what's her name? She's the one that they told not to talk about it on the floor. And she said people are calling her and telling her that they've had suicidal problems and stuff because she's a transgender.
Okay.
And she's kind of like the spokesperson for the transgenders, getting people to understand that the laws need to really come and help these kids because they're committing suicide, they're depressed, all of that. So
that I think they should have counseling and stuff like
but
that.
The underage thing, I'm hoping she's not pushing that underage should still have these surgeries.
I'm not pushing no underage. I'm sorry.
All right.
Leo says, my thumbs up says only one, but I know y'all thumbs up. I think it's just a glitch. Yeah. Leo says, book banning is un-American. We have freedom of speech and press. I don't see why someone would even want to do that. If you don't like it, don't read it. You don't like people talk, walk away. I agree.
That's true.
M. Perk says, yeah, and quit asking me about my gray hair. I am old enough for gray hair and an AARP card. That's right.
Huh?
Keep your hair.
They can get an AARP card at 55.
Yeah, you can get
and some people older will be like, wait a minute, you need to earn that AARP.
Yeah.